what I have is I was at the Liberty Park accident in Birmingham less than about a year or so ago, and I was entering the interstate headed on 459 into the Birmingham area, and I got on the interstate, and the 18-wheeler hit me in the rear end and knocked me a couple of hundred feet, and I was wondering just exactly what is my rights.
Okay, all right. Andrew, you want to start in on that one?
Well, that's a good question. You always have the right to have a case like this investigated by an attorney to determine whether or not you may have a case against the truck driver. I always tell people in cases that involve 18-wheelers, it's a little bit different than a car wreck in the sense that in a car wreck, we're trying to figure out, Brett and I, for instance, for working on a case together, whether or not the car that hit you is at fault and whether or not you've been injured as a result. But truck cases are often a lot about documents and data. And one of the things, besides the statute of limitations, which is going to be coming up for you in about a year, if the accident happened a year ago, is the fact that there are things that if you don't put the truck company on notice of them, the documents will disappear. So if you're even thinking that you may have a case that you would want an attorney to take a look at, then it's probably better that you get in contact with one sooner rather than later.
And I'm assuming it's probably a little bit more difficult where you, in that sort of accident involving an 18-wheeler or a truck, you're dealing with another company, so you probably need representation.
It's almost always, I think, people ought to consider consulting an attorney, at least for the purpose of running by the situation with that lawyer when you're involved with an 18-wheeler, because the cases are just so much more complicated. Even simple cases involving 18-wheelers are going to be more complicated than a typical car wreck. It's always